Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading with me. This is going to be for the week ahead. So we're going to dive in and see what messages are coming out for you. My gorgeous angels, let's just dive in. Let's see what's going on. Okay, you got Never Ending Story. I don't take reversals from this deck, and I never can be bothered to flip them all back around again. So you have Never Ending Story. So you're feeling a bit stuck in a cycle here. We're going to figure out what this is. Now, sometimes this is a card for me about waiting, right? Sometimes we can get so fixated on what we're waiting for and we feel like that's going to change my life and I really need this information now, or I need to know this specific thing now. That sometimes it can be what consumes us, and it can drain our energy. It can make us miserable in other areas of our life because we're just fixated on that one thing. I just need that one thing to clear up and then I can live the rest of my life. So with this card, I always say go and have some fun. Detach from whatever it is, because we're on a timer here, which means that whatever it is, it will happen in its own time. So you sit and wait around a clock is not going to change any outcome. In fact, if you don't know, time can really depend on your perception. When you are wanting time to speed up, it slows down, and when you want time to slow down, it speeds up, or it's our perception of it, of course. So it's really important to remember that when you attach yourself to something, especially the timing of something, then it's just going to feel like it's going slower. So go and distract yourself. Time flies when you're having fun. So go have some fun is basically what I want to say about that. This will clear up. Okay. I want to almost give you reassurance because I just feel this tightness. I feel almost nauseous. I just want to know something. Anyway, this is a really good time to reflect on maybe what belief systems are holding you hostage right now, basically. And now relating to Never Ending Story, you just feel a little bit like you're stuck in a cycle as well. So we'll figure out what that's saying for you. Let's dive in a little bit more. What's going on for Aquarius? I want you to go get pampered. You got walking away. Okay, so you guys could be deciding, or maybe you already have, whatever timeline you're on here, but there is this element of choosing to walk away from something. Now in this card, she knows what she's walking away from. She doesn't know where she's walking into, but she knows that whatever it is that she's walking into has got to be better than what she's walking away from. So maybe that's what you're wanting to do. Maybe that's what you're being guided to do, but you're waiting for the right time or clarity. You got balance. Now, okay, let's talk about it. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. That's why I was humming there. I don't know what exactly I was thinking about because I distracted myself. But it just feels like this element. So what I was thinking about was this whole thing of like, in order to have change, you have to kind of create change. And I wonder if you're stuck in this never-ending story, that maybe a big sign is that you need to start taking action. And walking away could be walking away from certain habits, walking away from certain belief systems, walking away from a certain way of being in general, right? If you want to change your life and you want to change yourself, then it's time to start leaving that old version of you behind, right? If you like, I was just going to give you an example, but I don't know. It feels almost like sometimes we have to realize that our current selves can't come with us if we want to transform. We kind of have to let some parts of us go. Doesn't mean that you lose yourself. You're just transforming and upgrading. It just feels like you have to let go of certain parts that might be very familiar. So I wonder how that relates to you, if it relates at all. But some of you, it could be external. You're walking away from things in general. You have a little spirit guide who's around you. Just seeing the color green for some reason. Okay, balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So bringing things to balance. That can be about boundaries. That can be, again, about where you put in your time and energy, right? It just feels like you're creating more balance into your life and not bringing any judgment there. What's going on for Aquarius, please? Completion. So yeah, that makes some sense with walking away, that you are putting something to rest. You are releasing something and letting something go here. And there is some confusion. And that could be, like I was saying about this specific card, where you know what you're walking away from. You don't know where you're walking into, though. And that means that you're walking into the unknown. So, of course, confusion and completion would make some sense. And the initial C could be important here. But let's see. Let's dive in. This is kind of the Ten of Swords. So it is about difficult ending. But there's always this understand that there's a new day, right? And confusion, of course, just feels like you're lacking clarity. So let's see what's going on for Aquarius during this week. Thank you. Justice, right? Could be about contracts. Could be a feeling of injustice, right? The balance is important here. We'll dive in to understand why. Queen of Wands is all about getting your mojo back. I always see her as someone who's bubbly, charismatic, in a spotlight in some way. I feel like she's a very fun person to be around, very beautiful and kind and caring. And I feel like that whenever she comes up, I always feel like it's about you. Maybe it's a good time to start getting back into your uniqueness. Anything else going on for Aquarius? To balancing these two things, make some sense, and one more. The Death card, again, about some of you could be going through grief right now and just want you to give yourself time with that. But the Death card, of course, about transformation, and you are making a lot of changes, and I feel like that is where you're being guided to go. Let's see. Why is Justice here? The Emperor. This could be about work contracts coming up for you. The Empress. Ooh. That looks like a soul contract for some. You know, sometimes justice can be divorce. Some of you could be going through a divorce. What's interesting, though, is that the Emperor and Empress are on the same level. And usually they're a match, right? But the Justice card being here, I wonder if you and someone else are trying to bring things into balance. Why is this? And it could also be about your own feminine and masculine energies. That's a yin and yang, okay? Within each of us, we all have it. Sometimes we might be more dominant in one, but it feels like during this week, you're trying to learn when to use force, when to take action, and also when to be open and receptive and intuitive. One's about logic, one's about intuition. What's the balance? What's the purpose of balance here? Clearing up confusion and mixed feelings. This could be for some of you that you are kind of clearing up any confusion in a dynamic with someone, creating balance in a dynamic between you and someone here. Again, within yourself too. What's the importance of the relation between the Empress and the Emperor? Is that Two of Cups? No, it's Temperance. Which is just it's about bringing harmony into a situation, basically. So what's happening is the angels are working with you, Aquarius, to bring some balance between either you and someone else or between these two energies. It's just this energy of there's an imbalance within yourself or in a dynamic. Justice is a good sign here, especially with Temperance. Being patient with this part of yourself. Why is the Queen of Wands here for Aquarius? King of Cups. Some of you could be feeling a bit disappointed, maybe with some people in the workspace, with the Three of Pentacles being here. Between a couple of friends, for example. What's the disappointment? Maybe you were expecting something from them, from a fire sign, and they're not delivering, for example. Ace of Cups. I was asking a bit about like what's the importance of this Ace of Cups. I feel like maybe bringing more compassion in this area might be helpful for you. This can be fixed is ultimately what it's saying, with some loving energies. Don't worry, I'm going to clarify the oracles as well if we don't see any of what you're walking away from, for example. Why is it Two of Pentacles here for Aquarius? What else is going on? The World. So you guys are kind of in between these two worlds here of like ending something, letting things go, ending an old version of yourself too, and entering a new energy. So the World is about ending of cycles, beginning of new ones. So it's that in between. Death card again makes some sense. You're going through transformation. Two of Pentacles is a really good card of being busy, multitasking during the week, juggling things. Now, just a reminder, don't neglect your feelings whilst you're doing all this work, is all what I will say about that. Two of Cups could be really good for meeting new people, being open to new dynamics, and letting go of the heaviness of this energy over here. Maybe it's a good time to delegate in the workspace for some, for example, or just to ask for more help from others so there's more balance. Okay, and the Death card. The Death card, please. Ace of Wands. So the Death card does carry endings. It does seem like a scary card, but what it's bringing actually is a new beginning. It's not just bringing an ending, because an ending is just a consequence of a new beginning. Does that make sense to you? What they want you to focus on is the new beginning. Whatever has to fall away or be let go of for you to focus on something new is it, right? The Ace of Wands represents like a new project, a new idea, a new environment or experience. It's a very positive card. Death card, Knight of Wands. So there could be a trip or travel coming up for you. Maybe you're relocating, or again, the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands is a really amazing combination of optimism, of I almost feel adrenaline. It's a really fun and exciting pair of cards. And the Knight of Wands is a beautiful card as well for like being more excited about the future and just seeing where things take you. Like being a bit of a free spirit is very important. So maybe what you're walking away from is things that are dragging you down. What is a never-ending story? 11:11 on my clock. The Star, maybe you feel like there's a lack of healing. The Star again is your card, Aquarius, as well. So it could just be that you feel like a lack of being the person that you want to be. Maybe you feel like you're not reaching your potential and you feel like you've been with this conversation with yourself over and over again. What's the advice? Come out of your head. You are transforming. Remember that. Remember how he said that whatever is happening here, whatever you're waiting for is unfolding. You just need to go and have some fun and give it time. Nine of Swords is exactly what she's doing. Head in the hands. So come out your head, basically. And walking away, what is Aquarius walking away from? Queen of Pentacles. The King of Swords reversed. So there's two people involved here. Someone who's not very honest and someone who seems genuine. It's not that they're not genuine, but someone, I don't know, it feels like you're walking away from a couple of people. The King of Swords reversed is an interesting one because this card always says as well that there are some people who might be asking for more than they actually need. So it's a little bit of like a tricky energy. King of Swords usually is honest and straightforward. The fact that it's reversed would say the opposite. So with one person you're walking away from who is a bit of a trickster, who's probably always takes more than what they need, like I was saying, a bit selfish, or again, it's not very honest. And the Queen of Pentacles feels like maybe a friend. Maybe you're moving. Queen of Pentacles. What is this about? Why are you walking away from the Queen of Pentacles? Could be a job. The Sun. Now the Sun is the best card in the deck, right? It's the most happiest, positive card. So I guess what you're walking away from might be some comfort. It feels like you're letting go of two things. One is, again, it deserves to be let go of, and it's easier to let go of that. But the other one feels sweet or sentimental or comfortable or familiar. So that could be a version of yourself, right? Some stability or comfort. And like we said, there is new projects and new, like, it requires you to be a bit of a free spirit in the future. So that could be why releasing this Queen of Pentacles feels a little bit more difficult, even for me to speak about. It feels a little bit like, why are you walking away from that? But it's probably because, you know, you're trying to find your happiness and you're exploring the world. So it just feels a little bit like that's fine if that's what you want to do, exploring your options. So don't be worried about that. Balance, I think we already know a bit about that. Yeah, you're definitely correcting some injustice in your life or imbalance, self-sabotage, all that kind of stuff, sneaky people. Completion, Ace of Pentacles, so that's nice. You're letting go of a never-ending story and you're having a new stable beginning and one of abundance. Look at that energy. Massive financial security for you in the future. You're starting almost something new right now, so I like that a lot. Financial freedom, safety, security, yeah, I love that. And then also abundance. Ten of Pentacles is the end goal, right? The maximum abundance that you're working towards. So I love that for you. Just coming out your head a bit more. Getting rid of maybe people around you who are not very the good kind of abundance. They're more of the greedy people. So letting go of that, or your own things within yourself too. Anyway, what's about confusion? What about confusion? So Queen of Swords. So that basically says there are some things on the map that are covered with clouds, but there are some that are not. Go towards the things that you can see clearly, right? The clouds always represent cloudiness, confusion, but she can see above them. So I feel like it's just about get clear on what you can, or what you know you want right now, what you know you can get right now, and the rest will unfold in its own time. Okay, so it just feels a little bit like getting clear here, setting boundaries. So it does look like you guys are going through a bit of a shift right now, and it's been a bit confusing for me to try to figure out exactly what, but I hope that there's been some little nuggets during this reading that have rang some bells in your life, giving you maybe some advice or some perspective that maybe you might have needed. And if it did, let me know in the comment section and give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then go ahead. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time, okay?